Jaylan's a natural. He's a natural. It definitely took me a little while before I wanted to introduce him to the public and be open. I think it just being in the public puts a lot of pressure on our relationship, and I just wanted to get to know him at first.
Hey everyone, I'm Anna Rumer with Pop Culture, and today we have with us Teen Mom 2's Ashley and Leah. They're here to talk to us about the brand new season. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So we've got a lot of relationship stuff this season. Leah with you and Jaylan, Ashley with you and Bar. Right off the bat, Leah, we start the season with Jaylan just being this cute guy you just met. What was it that was your first impression of him? What had you so excited to see him again at that barbecue?
You know what? I think I just got to know him as a person. He was fun, and we really just connected. Like we had a lot in common, and we just ended up continuing seeing each other.
Oh, I love it. Well, and what was it getting back into dating that was kind of on your mind at the time? Because I imagine that was a little stressful.
I'm dating and I'm a mom. I'm a mom, and I just felt like I don't know, like. I don't want to bring anyone around my kids. So I wanted to get to know him for a little while before I even done that. So I would say that was the biggest thing that was on my mind.
Was there any part of you that was also just a little nervous about getting back out there too?
No, you know what? When I went into the dating scene this time, I was like, I know what I want. And I think you'll see that at the beginning of the season. Like I had boundaries. If he had, I know he had boundaries as well. And if it didn't align, it didn't work out, then it just didn't. And I was okay with that. But it has.
Awesome. Yeah. Good. Well, and how has it been introducing him to the world, putting him in the spotlight all of a sudden? Is he okay with it? Has it been kind of a shock or?
Jaylan's a natural. He's a natural. It definitely took me a little while before I wanted to introduce him to the public and be open. I think it just being in the public puts a lot of pressure on our relationship, and I just wanted to get to know him at first. Now, I mean, it took me a little while to put it out there, but now that he's out there, it's still going great. I think it's communication and listening to each other was so important.
What do you see for you guys down the line as a future? Or are you not even looking that far ahead?
I don't want to look that far ahead. I want whatever that's meant to happen. And I just want to enjoy the moment with me, him, my kids. Like we're really happy. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're super excited to see you happy. And Ashley, I'm super excited for this season with you. We come in on the season and you're a married woman. That's, a new change from last season. But there was a little tension at the start. Was there any part where you're, dealing with Bar's legal issues and the tension that you guys were having at the time being like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into with this marriage?
I think that just like having a kid, getting married sounds wonderful. It sounds amazing. It sounds theoretically like a beautiful life. But in practice, it's a lot of work. And there's a lot of conversations that you don't even think you need to have. And then all of a sudden they become very important, very heavy conversations. And I just think that, Bar and I never do anything the right way. We had a kid and then our families met and then all of this stuff happened. So we're always doing things backward, but we're really trying to not do any runarounds in this marriage. You really want to work straight through it. And so I think we show that this season.
Yeah. And what would you say, your biggest issue going forward at the beginning of the season? And how did you kind of work through that?
I think the biggest issue is oftentimes I kind of felt like he wasn't hearing me or understanding me. And I think that the biggest thing something that we learned from Family Reunion was that you have to talk to people in a language that they can digest. Mm-hmm. And my language may not be your language, and that's okay. But if I love you, I have to learn how to become fluent in your language. And so I think that that was the biggest thing. Like we're not speaking the same language, and a lot of things would get lost in translation.
Yeah, well, and I'm curious, kind of watching the season back, is this going to be difficult for you two? Or are you maybe not going to watch it together, or what's the deal with that?
I think that Bar and I, our history on this show is very raw and real. And so I think we'll watch it. We'll joke about it with everyone else. And we're moved on, and we're going to move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys are in a great place today. We saw on Family Reunion. What is it like looking back at the beginning of your marriage and kind of seeing how far you've come?
Well, it's all crazy. If you guys remember, Bar was my high school sweetheart. So
Right.
looking back to, secretly kissing this guy in the hallways to now him being on national TV and being my husband, it's all a crazy journey.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And then to both of you, I'm kind of curious if there's anything this season that you're really looking forward to people seeing or something that maybe you're not going to watch that episode.
I'll speak for myself and I'll say that I don't look forward to any of it, but at the same time, I look forward to all of it because for me, some things might be embarrassing or hurtful or hard to watch, but then I get DMs from other people and they're like, girl, I'm going through the same thing. And because I watched you go through it, I feel like I have the strength or the knowledge or whatever to get through it myself. So it's really double-edged for me. So I won't be watching, but I'll be live tweeting and supporting everybody else that way.
Awesome. What about you, Leah?
I'm excited to see most of it. I think on my first date with Jaylan, my first brunch date, my dad calls and I was not expecting that phone call. So it might not be something I'll watch on TV. I'm sure everyone will mention about it. But other than that, like I'm excited. We usually watch the show and we live tweet. We're all on there live tweeting. So yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. Well, and getting out ahead of the season, is there anything that you kind of want to clarify for viewers? Anything that you're like, I hope people don't think that I was coming at this the wrong way, or anything that you just wanted to tell people ahead of time?
I think we're pretty real. We're real, we're honest, we're authentic. And I mean, there are boundaries. I think with dating, the only thing I worry about is people are like, well, why are you so hard? Why are you so guarded? And it was like, I had boundaries and it was okay to have those boundaries going out into dating. So that's it. Other than that, I'm ready. I'm ready for this season.
Me too. What about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I don't feel like I think the reality of it is that there's some things maybe I could have handled better or should have handled better or shouldn't have handled at all. But isn't that the reality for everybody? You know what I'm saying? And we're all everyone I know is dealing with that. So, I mean, no, something I want to get ahead of. People will see it, and if you can learn from it, beautiful. And if not, I learned from it, and I've grown from it, and I think that makes all of us who we are.
Yeah. Well, and with Family Reunion airing first, but having kind of already seen that, but then going back in time for this new season of Teen Mom 2, what is that like? What was it like to watch Family Reunion kind of out of order for you? And what was it like to film it in the other order?
I think a lot of people think that us girls, we get together on the weekends and we hang out. But the reality of it is we all live really far. I mean, if we all live in the same town, I'm sure that would happen. But we all live, I think I'm the only girl in California. So it's the first time I hung out with these girls, really got to know these girls. And it was crazy, but it was great. It was great.
Yeah. What about you, Leah?
It was definitely out of order. Now we're going back, like as far as my relationship, we're going back in time to when the origin of my relationship started and going to the Teen Mom Family Reunion. We were working on things there, like different things. So it's definitely out of order, but it was all fun. I think we learned a lot. Like Ashley said, we are in all different states, so we don't get to see each other. And it was the first time I got to connect with Ashley. It was the first time I really got to connect with Jade and Bree too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for more of it down the line. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Agreed.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me. Is there any last thing you wanted to get in about the season before I let you go?
I think we're ready for season 2 of TMFR.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Best of luck to everybody for Teen Mom 2.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. The new season of Teen Mom 2 premieres Tuesday, March 8th on MTV. And until next time, I'm Anna Rumer with Pop Culture.